Hi, this is Carrie, Christ-centered counselor and life coach with Promise Coaching. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how narcissists love to rewrite history. Let's talk a little bit about this because this is a common problem with people dealing with narcissists, including myself dealing with narcissists in my own life. So let's break down what this looks like and how these narcissists do this. So first off, we need to understand that the narcissist always wants to look like either the victim or the hero, okay? So they are going to change the narrative to make it look like you are the one who victimized them, they're the one who's been victimized in whatever situation it is, or they're the one who came in to save the day. And this is hilarious because they will switch back and forth between both narratives being victim, hero, victim, hero. And really, that is one of the easiest ways to tell when someone is a narcissist because they love to switch between those two roles. They love to play both narratives of what they did, everything great about them, how they do everything, how they came in to save the day with this person, or they were the one that took care of that family member, or they were the ones that did all of the driving around or paid for everything, or whatever it is. They love to throw out their heroism so that everyone can worship and idolize them, or they are playing the victim role whenever it suits them, so that way they can be right and not have to take accountability for anything that they ever do wrong. And that is the main issue with narcissists. It is a responsibility issue. They do not take accountability for anything they've done. And so this is part of how and why they rewrite history, because they don't want to be responsible for the things that they've done to hurt someone, that they've done to break down the relationship, to betray someone, or anything that they actually have to admit guilt to. Now, here is the flip side of this. If something does come out about them that they can't deny, in some cases, they will admit to what they did because the evidence has been shown. So oftentimes, like in a courtroom, they'll say, yes, I did that. And then all of a sudden they'll act like they're the most humble person in the entire world because now they have to put up a facade in order to get their way, to get what they want. And that's what it's all about with them, is power and control, not allowing anyone to hold them accountable or responsible for their behavior at all. In every story, and I say story because it's made up, it's fabricated, and it's always full of lies and exaggerations and over-dramatized because they want someone else to be the villain in their story. Why is that? Why is there always a villain in their story? There's always a villain because they're the actual villain. Does that make sense? They're the ones that are usually deceiving people and betraying people and manipulating people. So there are a lot of people usually in their lives that have been really harmed by this person, including children. And so if they can make themselves look like either the hero or the victim, then they don't have to take accountability for any of the harmful behavior or things that they have done. And oftentimes these narcissists really are so believable. And the reason they're so believable is because they sound genuine and authentic. And there's been studies done on this, that actual psychopaths seem more genuine than a person who isn't a psychopath. And the reason why that is because they're great actors. And because they're so exaggerating, it makes it sound like because they're so passionate about what they're saying or about what they're feeling, that it must be true. And so that's something to really look out for. And you'll often notice too that their reactions to situations and in conversations never matches up with the actual situation or what you're talking about. And all of a sudden they go from 0 to 60 and you're like, whoa, what just happened? We were talking about something totally different and now you're all the way over here. Or we were dealing with this situation and now it is this whole chaotic mess because they have taken things so far and so out of context. And so that is another thing, because they want to be able to control the outcome. So whatever they need to do to get to that, they will do. And that usually entails over dramatization, rewriting history, so that way they can convince other people of a narrative they wrote. I hope this helps, and if you like this video, please hit like, subscribe to this channel, and you'll see more videos like this. And if you've been in a situation like this, I would love to hear from you. Please leave it in the comments, and take care.